Anyone who had previously performed in the Road Hall Theater, give us a little applause. See, you kids today, you don't know what you have. We had to walk upstairs to rehearsal and then downstairs to go to the bathroom. And we liked it. I'm going to do this without the microphone, folks. That's throwing everybody. Teacher, mentor, friend. That's how my life has been with Bill Robinson. I met him, he was a teacher in basic acting. He became my mentor when I realized I wanted to do that for a living. And I pursued theater ever since. And now as the years have gone on, we've become close friends. And I can't ask for anything more than enjoy this time with you and share our moments with him and thank him for all that he's done for all of us. So thank you, Bill. From all of us. Sean mentioned Alpha Psi Omega. The motto of Alpha Psi Omega is to live a life useful. I take those words to heart in everything I do in my career because of what Bill taught us. I think anyone we've known who's been very useful in the application of his education, his passion, his knowledge, his interest, is Bill Robinson. So mottos mean something, and he took it to heart and he actually did something with that motto. I think that needs to be recognized as well. Someone else who followed the same footpath of theater arts is a former alumni of ours. Her name is Monica Anderson. I wonder where she is. Is she here? There she is. This goes on for a bit for the shows that she's been in, so bear with me here. Medea, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, The Dining Room, Grease, The Arkansas Bear, A Midsummer Night's Dream, Barnum, The Crucible, Spoon River Anthology, Charlie Brown Goes to College, 3 times? Something like that. So without further ado, Dr. Monica Faye Anderson.
I don't know whether to go microphone or without, because I am going without notes, so it could get a little scary for me here. All right, microphone. All right. Okay. Yeah, as Dan mentioned, I'm one of the people who had the rare opportunity to do something we all dreamed of when we were younger, which was growing up to be Bill Robinson. I chased the dream. I followed in Bill's footsteps to Bowling Green State University and got my graduate degrees in theater. And I've now been teaching and directing at a small university for just over 20 years. So I guess 18 more and mission accomplished, yes? Okay. So I know, I work very hard to ultimately be the best Bill I can be. And I know I'm being a good Bill when I see my students engaging in class and being excited about what they're learning, when I see my students engaging on the stage and excited about the play they're rehearsing, when I see them as a diverse group of people who are united by the fun and the long hours and the work and the joy that is creating theater. And I thought, that's the tradition that I was introduced to as a student of Bill's. And it occurred to me that my students are his legacy as well. Because if there were no Dr. Robinson, there would be no Dr. Anderson. And so I thought how wonderful that to have a life and a career that will go on forever, ultimately, because the love that I shared with my students for theater is the love that I learned from Bill. And so that will go on from your students, from my students to their students. The legacy of Bill is one of love, and it is one that will just keep growing forever. Bill made a phone call ultimately, that changed the course of my life. I don't know if he remembers the call or not, but my first semester freshman year, I auditioned for Medea. And I went running to that call board, and looking at that cast list, and I wasn't there. And I thought, my life is over. What will I now do with myself? I am not in the play. And I had a roommate who was talking me into trying out for the softball team, and that would not have gone very well. But I was thinking about it. And then the hall phone on the first floor of Bain, because we used to just have one phone for everybody on the floor. The hall phone rang, and it was for me. And it was Bill. And he said, I found out I can cast 2x2. I didn't think I could do it, but I can. And so there's a spot in Medea for you if you want it. If I want it, yes, yes. And with that call, Bill called me home. And I had a home in the theater for these 4 years, and it really changed the course of my life. And so you can imagine, after all that time with Bill, I have more stories and memories than I can account. But I do want to note this one thing. Over the years, I've developed a real passion for Shakespeare, and I've made it the cornerstone of my professional life. And I teach and I direct Shakespeare's plays. I've started to specialize on performing Shakespeare. And yet, the only director in my life who ever cast me in a Shakespearean production is Bill Robinson. And I was one of a few Helenas that he's directed over the years. And I had the pleasure of directing that play this past fall. And when I did it, I adopted from Bill one of his many brilliant ideas. I used the bit with Wall, where Wall doesn't have any arms in his costume. And so Pyramus, because we have to not so very secretly yell through Wall's ears. And every night that the audience delighted in that moment, and I delighted, and the actors delighted in that moment, I thought, thank you, Bill Robinson. And thank you, Bill Robinson is engraved on my heart. It's ingrained in my life. And it will be with me until well past my graduation. It will be with me always. Since with my love for Shakespeare, I'm going to see if I can remember a few lines for you. A few words of thanks. For these great graces heaped upon me, for these great graces heaped upon me, poor undeserver, I can nothing render but great thanks. My prayers to heaven for you, my loyalty, which ever has been and ever shall be growing. I love you, Bill Robinson. Thank you, Bill Robinson.
Floor party bit. The party was fat, right? Hey, Monica, I'm going to scratch an inappropriate joke. And that's something that Monica mentioned that kind of resonated in my mind for a minute. She mentioned the fact that we carry these lessons on to our own students. And it's fascinating that we kind of bridge tonight previous years and the more recent years. But we also pass these lessons on to our children, too. And that's something that goes beyond the theater, beyond the classroom. Because there's something that Bill always did that was so beautiful when, a young, eager student had an idea. I'm going to improve my character. I'm going to do something. I'm going to be an artist at rehearsal tonight. Bill, can I do this crazy thing? And he'd go, I don't hate it. Okay, I'll get back to you. When I found myself saying that to my son recently, hey Dad, can we play baseball and see if we can bounce them off the fenders of the neighbor's car? I don't hate it. But part of that bridging the generations is also keeping in touch with teal players that you may not have gone to school with, but you wind up seeing in a show because you come back and you get to know them. And so my next person I'd like to introduce is a few years after me, graduated in 1997, a young man named Jeffrey Hall. And I'm looking over his list of credentials, and I wish I would have gone to school these years. These are some of my favorite shows. Lending a Tenor, Anne of a Thousand Days, A Comedy of Errors, Queens of France, Oedipus, Tartuffe, Much Ado About Nothing, The Mikado, and The Pirates of Penzance. And Jeffrey's going to sing a number for us that is called Major Modern General.
Hi everybody, I'm kind of short, so I'm going to talk this way. I'm so sorry. I don't know, I feel at home here under the spotlight. Something with the teal player. I'm very nervous. I have not sung this song, well, this afternoon, but before that it had been 17 years since I had sung this song. So please bear with me. It's very dark up here and the words are very complicated. So I apologize if I mess it up. All right. Modern Major General. I'm information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England and I quote the fights historical, from Marathon to Waterloo, in order categorical. I'm very well acquainted too with matters mathematical. I understand equations, both the simple and quadratical. About binomial theorem, I'm teeming with a lot of news. Lot of news. With many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse. With many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse. With many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse. Many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse. I lost my place already. I swear I haven't had any Cosmos at all. Okay. Pick it up from where I was. Yeah, thank you. I'm very good at integral and differential calculus. I know the scientific names of beings and amalgamus. In short, it matters vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern Major General. In short, it matters vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern Major General. In fact, when I know what is meant by Mamelon and Ravelin, when I can tell at sight a Mauser rifle from a javelin, when such affairs as sorties and surprises I'm more wary at, and when I know precisely what is meant by commissariat, when I have learned what progress has been made in modern gunnery, when I know more of tactics than a novice in nunnery. In short, when I'm a smattering of elemental strategy. You'll say a better Major General has never sat the G. You'll say a better Major General has never sat the G. You'll say a better Major General has never sat the G. You'll say a better Major General has never sat the G. For my military knowledge, though it's plucky and adventure-y, has only been brought down to the beginning of the century. In short, it matters vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern Major General.